On this story, we can bring in our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons. Rob, what is happening in Yerevan today exactly?
Well, I mean, this has been boiling for some time, Delano. Following the defeat of Armenia by Azerbaijan in the fighting over Nagorno-Karabakh, the people of Armenia absolutely stunned because they never expected that they could lose against Azerbaijan. And many people have been calling for the resignation of Nikol Pashinyan ever since. A recent opinion poll suggested almost 50% of the population wants him to step down. But this latest development follows weeks, first of all, of demonstrations by the opposition, a coalition of 16 parties, calling again for him to step down and for Vazgen Manoukian to take over as interim prime minister. But more specifically, following the decision by Pashinyan to sack the first deputy chief of staff of the armed forces, a man called Mr. Khachaturian, just a few days ago. That was apparently caused by the general criticizing Pashinyan for what he called a ridiculous claim that only 10% of the Iskander missiles that Armenia had worked in the war against Azerbaijan. In response to that dismissal, the army has responded in the way we've seen today, with a claim by an armed forces spokesperson that Nikol Pashinyan was no longer able to lead the government, that it was no longer competent. He was no longer competent to lead the government. It wasn't absolutely clear that this is a coup d'état, more perhaps just a suggestion he should step down. But certainly the prime minister has interpreted it as a coup d'état. He's dismissed the head of the armed forces now, calling for his own supporters to come to central Yerevan, the Armenian capital, to demonstrate. And he said that he's going to make a speech himself on Armenian television to the people.
We spoke to a guest earlier who said there was no physical movement of the military on the streets of Yerevan.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the reaction coming out of Russia, because the Kremlin says it's concerned, but it is saying this is a domestic issue.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Kremlin will be concerned, but the Kremlin has no great liking, it has to be said, for Nikol Pashinyan. And if he is ousted by the military, which has strong ties with Moscow, I don't think that President Putin would be overly disappointed. As I said, he has no great liking for Nikol Pashinyan, who has been critical of him in the past, and would be much happier if the military or civilian politicians approved by the military were to be installed in office.